Welcome back, dear students. Till now, we have learned how to calculate the measures of central tendency and measures of variability, or we say measures of dispersion. While I was preparing for the new lecture about the higher statistics, it stuck in my mind that we have pending one topic here, that is the percentile and the percentile range. Before going through this topic, let us recap some things from the previous lectures. We have seen that what is median is that middle point of the value that divides the data set into two equal parts. It is the single value in the data set that divides the data set into two equal parts. And what is quartile? In quartile, we have seen in the quartile deviation, and quartile are three data points that divide the data set into four equal parts. There is one more term that is known as decile. Decile, there are 9 deciles in the data set that divide the data set into 10 equal parts. One more term is the percentile, which we are dealing in this lecture. There are 99 percentiles. There are 99 data points that divide the data set into 100 equal parts. That's known as the percentile. Let's go through some formulas here. We have already done with the median. How to calculate the median of the data set is by this formula. Here the L is the lower limit, n by 2. Why we divide total number of frequencies by 2? Because we have to find that point which divides the data set into two equal parts. And then cumulative frequency, you know, it is the below the median class, and F is the exact frequency, I is the size of the class interval. Second is quartile. How to find the quartile? We have learned in the quartile deviation. Here's the general formula how to find the quartile. This n, the value of n is 1 to 3, because only we have 3 data points we are in the data set that are known as the quartile. Okay, suppose I have to find the second quartile in the data set. I will replace n by 2. And why we divide the total number of frequencies by 4 here? Because we have divided the data set into 4 equal parts. Okay, so now we will simplify this formula. It will become the formula of there. Here it's 2 ones are and 2 twos are 4, so it will become n by 2, and this formula is same as that of the median. This means that the second quartile Q2 is that point in the data set which divides the data set into the two equal parts, and that is same to the median. Then we have the decile. As I have already told you that there are 9 points in the data set which divide the data set into 10 equal parts, that is known as the decile. There are 9 deciles, that is in D1, D is for decile, D1, D2, D3, D4, and D9 likewise. Here is the general formula how to calculate a decile of the data set. This n, the value of n is from 1 to 9, because we have only 9 deciles in the data set. And suppose I have to find the fifth decile in the data set, that is I give the here the value of n5, so here also it will be the 5. Now when we simplify this formula, it becomes the formula of the median. Okay, so this means that the fifth decile is also the midpoint of the data set. That means fifth decile is equal to the second quartile, which is equal to the median. Okay, now the percentile. I have already told you that the percentile have 99 points, or there are 99 points in the data set which divide the data set into 100 equal parts. That is known as the percentile. There is the general formula to calculate the percentile, and here the value of n is from 1 to 99, because we have 99 percentiles in a data set. Let us suppose that I have to find the 50th percentile of the data set. Here I have given the value of n 50, so here it will also be the 50. When we simplify this formula, it becomes the formula of the median also. So this means that the 50th percentile is also the midpoint of the data set. In lump sum, what we get from this is that we have 50th percentile is equal to the fifth decile, which is equal to the second quartile is equal to the median. These are the midpoints of the data set. Okay, single data set, in a single data set, while the median lies, there will be the Q2, there will be the D5, and there will be the P50. Let's now continue with our lecture, that is the percentile. Percentile is the measure that is used to indicate the relative position of an individual in context of the group in which he or she belongs to. Okay, here is the general formula to calculate the percentile in a data set. This n depends which percentile we have to find out. Here you also know, suppose I have to find the 10th percentile. Okay, this is the formula for the 10th percentile. You know that in this formula Pn is the nth percentile. It may be 1, it may be 2, it may be 99 also. Only 99, P99 is there, not more than that. Okay, so in here this is the P10 is the 10th percentile. Here L, you know that it is the exact lower limit of the class interval in which the percentile class and n is the total number of the frequencies. Obviously we have learned it many times. And the CF is the cumulative frequency below that percentile class. F is the exact frequency of the percentile class. I is the size of the class interval. Let us have an example here. Suppose I have to find P10 and P90 of this data set. To find the P10 and P90, let us check the formula. What we need cumulative frequencies, we need exact frequencies. We have the frequencies of this each class interval. We have already the lower limit of the each class interval. What we have to calculate is the cumulative frequencies. How to calculate the cumulative frequencies? In previous lectures, I repeatedly told you that how to calculate the cumulative frequencies. And in here you can see that the class intervals are in increasing order, so I will calculate the cumulative frequencies from the upper side, starting from the upper side of the table. That means I will start from the upper class 4, and then 4 plus 3, then 4 plus 3 plus 6, then 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2, then 4 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1. Last cumulative frequency will be equal to the number of the frequencies. Okay, now we have to calculate the 10th percentile. To find where this 10th percentile lies, we have to find that class interval. How to find it is same like we have found the median class, like we have found the quartile class. Okay, now here we have to find the this P10. P10 is found by this here, because this is 10 and here I have written in place of n there is 10. 10 multiplied by n divided by 100. Why 100? Because this data set is divided into the 100 equal parts. So then next is here n is equal to the 16. Then we have 10 multiplied by 16 divided by 100. That will come out to be 1.6. This means the class interval having the cumulative frequency 1.6 or greater than 1.6 will be the class interval where the 10th percentile lies. Here we have class interval frequency starting from 4. So obviously in this class interval there will be 1.6 also, cumulative frequency 1.6 also. So this is the class interval where our 10th percentile lies. Okay, now what we have to find? We have to find the lower limit, we have to find the cumulative frequency. Before this we have to find the frequency, exact frequency. What is the lower limit of this class interval? Lower limit of this class interval is 20, as these are not the continuous class intervals. So we subtract 20 by 0.5, that will become 19.5. So here the lower limit is 19.5, and the exact frequency of this class is 4. I have written here 4. And the cumulative frequency before this class interval, is there any class interval before this class interval? No. So I have written 0 as the cumulative frequency. And then the class size of the class interval. What's the size of the class interval? That is the 40 minus 35, or 35 minus 30, or that will be 39 minus 34. That is the difference between the two lower limits, or difference between the two upper limits. Here it is 5. Okay, now putting these values in the formula, we have formula to calculate the P10, and here it will be 10 also. So this is the formula. The lower limit here is 19.5, and 10 multiplied by n divided by 100 is 1.6, and the cumulative frequency is 0. exact frequency is 4 and the class size of the class interval is 5. Then when we calculate this, this comes out to be 21.5. That means the 10th percentile of this data set is 21.5. And we have to find another, that is the another point, that is P90. How to find the P90 is same like this. P9 here it is P10, here it will be the P90. How will we find 90 multiplied by n divided by 100? So here n is 16 and 90 multiplied by 16 divided by 100, that is 14.4. Where the cumulative frequency 14.4 will lie is here. It is 13. No, in 13 it will not lie. The 14.4 will not be here. Here it will be. So this class interval is our 90th percentile class interval. Now we have to find the lower limit of this class interval, that is 34.5, because we have to subtract from this 0.5, and the exact frequency is 2, and the cumulative frequency before this class interval is 13, and also here the class interval size of the class interval is 5. Putting these values in the formula, because here n is 90, so I have written 90 multiplied by n divided by 100 here. Here L is 34.4 and 90 times n divided by 100 is 14.4. Cumulative frequency is 13, exact frequency is 2, and the class interval size is 5. Now when we calculate this, the 90th percentile comes out to be 39.5. So the 90th percentile is that point. Which point it is? It is 39.5. Now let us move towards the percentile rank. Percentile rank, we can say it is the point in the distribution below which a given percentage of scores or cases lie. Okay, it is defined it's defined as the number representing the percentage of the total number of cases lying below the score, of which we have to calculate the percentile, and it is denoted by PR is the percentile rank. You have already seen this is used in the competitive exams nowadays, that in medical entrance tests and in engineering entrance tests we use this percentile rank. Now how to calculate the percentile rank? We have two formulas. For ungrouped data it will be one, and for grouped data it will be another. Okay, here this PR, it is the percentile rank obviously, and this R is the rank of that particular score which we have to calculate, the percentile in that group. And then you know that N is the number of the observations, or it is the number of the frequencies. CF is the cumulative frequency below that percentile class in the grouped data, and F is the exact frequency, and X is the score for which we want to calculate the percentile rank. L is the exact lower limit of the class interval. N is the total number of the frequencies, and I is the size of the class interval. Now let us calculate the percentile rank in ungrouped data first. As you might be knowing what is ungrouped data, I will not discuss here. Suppose calculate the percentile rank of the score 15. This is the raw data, this is ungrouped data, and you have to calculate the percentile rank of which score 15. Okay, for this purpose we have to arrange this data either in increasing order or in decreasing order, and the highest point in the data set we rank that as number 1. Okay, so here the highest point is, you can see that is 21, and I arrange it in this way in decreasing order. So 21 I have given the rank 1, and I have almost 12 observations. The last point is 10, and I have given the 10 12 rank. Okay, now for this we have to find the percentile rank of score 15. For that we have to check what is the rank of the score 15, that is 7 and total number of observations is 12. So here the total number of observations n is equal to 12 and r, the rank of that particular score 15 is 7. Applying these in the formula, we will get 100 minus 100 multiplied by 7 minus 50 divided by 12, and the percentile rank of the score 15 came out to be 45.83. Remember one thing, after the decimal, if there is this less than 5, then we write the lower, then we write the lower point of the data, and if it is greater than 5, as in this case it is greater than 5, it is 8 here, so we are supposed to write the higher value of the data. We round it to the higher value. So 45, after 45 what it is? 46. So I have written that the percentile rank of the score 15 is 46. Okay, what this mean? Percentile rank of the score is 15 is 46. This means the 46% cases lie below the score 15. Have you got it? Then we have the formula for the grouper data. Let us check how to calculate the percentile rank of the grouper data. As you know, what is grouper data? It is the frequency distribution table, obviously. Now we have to find the percentile rank of score 83 from this grouper data. To find this score, in which class interval this score lies. First, when we check that does 83 lie in 70 to 74? No. Does 83 lie from 75 to 79? No. 80 to 84? Yes. In between 80 to 84, 83 will come. When we check the formula, we have to find the cumulative frequency of this data set. How to find the cumulative frequency? I have already told you. I will not discuss here again. Here it is the cumulative frequency, and last cumulative frequency will be equal to the number of the frequencies. Okay. Now we have to find the lower limit of the class interval. In which class interval this 83 lies? This 83 lies in this class interval. Okay, this is the class interval where the score 83 lies. The lower limit of this class interval is 80, but we have to subtract 0.5 from this because these are not the continuous class intervals. So the lower limit of this class interval will be 79.5. Okay, then exact frequency of this class interval is 5, and cumulative frequency before this class interval is 5, and the size of the class interval, that is 85 minus 80 or 89 minus 84, that is 5. Here everything is 5, 5. The percentile rank of the 83rd score is calculated by this formula: 100 divided by 16. What is 16? It is number of observations, and 5, it is cumulative frequency, and then the score, raw score, is 83. Then the lower limit of the class interval, it is 79.5, and the size of the class interval, it is 5, and the exact frequency, it is also 5. Now when we do the calculations, we found that the percentile rank comes out to be 53.125. Okay, here after the decimal point there is 1 which is less than the 5, so I round up this figure to the lower part, that is 53. Okay, it will be only the 53. If here it will be higher than 5, suppose 6, 7 or 8 or 9, then it will be 54 here. Now, what is this percentile rank of 83rd score is 53? What it depicts? It depicts that below the score of 83, there are 53% of the cases. Okay, 53% of the cases lie below the score 83. These days, this percentile rank is used in the NEET and JEE exams. Now it's clear to you how to find the percentile and the percentile rank. Here's an exercise for you people to do. You have to find out the percentile 18, percentile 38, percentile 1, percentile 77 and percentile 80 from these two data sets. Here it will be sum and here it will be sum. And also you have to find the percentile rank of the score 18, score 28, score 51, score 77 and score 99 from these two data sets. That's all about the percentile and the percentile rank, and we are done with the measures of central tendency and the measures of variability. Our next lecture will be about the higher statistics. I will be back soon with the new video lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay motivated, and stay tuned with the channel. Have a great day.